Today, we could see the most intense day of fighting yet in the war in Iran. This is Iran has fired more drones and missiles at Israel and Gulf Arab countries in retaliation.
And in just the last few hours, the U.S. Embassy in Beirut has urged citizens to leave Lebanon or shelter in place because of incoming missile strikes. Meantime, new video shows U.S. missile strikes hitting more targets inside Iran. U.S. Central Command confirms the destruction of Iranian missile launchers. The Pentagon says more than 5,000 targets have now been hit. Less than an hour ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave an update saying the U.S. is focused on its objectives and not an endless war.
On day 10 of Operation Epic Fury, we are winning with an overwhelming and unrelenting focus on our objectives. This is not endless nation building under those types of quagmires we saw under Bush or Obama. It's not even close. Our generation of soldier will not let that happen again, and nor will this president.
But Tehran is claiming control of the critical Strait of Hormuz and warns it will stop all oil from leaving the Middle East if the U.S. and Israeli strikes don't stop.
So to combat a surge in oil prices, the G7 will hold a video call this afternoon to discuss using emergency oil reserves. President Trump says he'll also waive oil-related sanctions. But we're getting mixed messages about how long this war could last. Last night, the president characterized the conflict as an excursion into Iran that he predicted could be over soon.
We've carried out some of the most powerful and complex military strikes and maneuvers the world has ever seen. We're achieving major strides toward completing our military objective. And some people could say they're pretty well complete.
There's also now growing evidence that the U.S. was responsible for a deadly civilian strike in the first day of the war. Weapons experts say this video provides proof that a U.S. Tomahawk missile is the missile that hit near a clinic and school, striking the ground, killing 170 people, most young students. President Trump asserted again without evidence that Iran could have fired that missile.